Hello everyone, welcome to a premiere draft of Amonkhet Remastered. We are going to take on this mix-up of the Hour of Devastation format and the Amonkhet format into a new special thing. How special is it? I don't know. I like it better than either Amonkhet or Hour of Devastation so far, if that is a factor or an indicator. I do believe that the aggro decks of triple Amonkhet are still there and draftable, but the more controlling long game fancy pants decks of Hour of Devastation also have their hold. One thing that's keeping aggro in check is the high number of wrath effects in the format. They've added extra wraths at the rare slot for basically for injecting cards into historic on arena, but it does also have the effect of changing Amonkhet limited, even though with the rare slot, it just means there's just a higher density. It's almost like sweepers are uncommon in this format, you know? So that's something to keep in mind. I still don't like play around them unless it's the only way I'm going to lose, but I am aware that that's a thing. We went 7 wins in our first Amonkhet Remastered draft on the back of Hour of Devastation itself, the 5 mana, 5 damage to everything sweeper, not to mention Nicol Bolas. But point is, sweepers are a real thing. Anyway, let's see what we get. I'm going to see where we're pulled. I do like that we go in here knowing that we can end up in a lot of different directions. And one direction to take for your secondary market needs is my sponsor, CardKingdom.com. I just met with them, my representative at Card Kingdom yesterday, talking about stuff, and we have some ideas for promotions coming up that we're going to work on, and in general, just again, feel super supported by my sponsor. And if you need stuff for your physical game, please keep in mind they're going to take care of you, get you what you need right quick. What are we going to do here? What do you like, folks? Here's another. We saw this as a pack one, pick one yesterday, but we're not going to take it like we didn't take it yesterday. Supreme Will, fine. I like counter spells that give an alternative right there in the rules text. So if you don't want to counter something, you have something else to do. Doomfall, also solid. But I think I like one of these common removal spells. We've got Fanbearer, which is interaction for white. Cartouche of Ambition. It only removes small things, but then turns your subsequent creature into a race winner. And then Cartouche of Strength, which is probably the best piece of removal here. You do need a creature. It needs to be of reasonable size, but generally you get to pop this on something, fight, and attack. I'm willing to start on a Cartouche of Strength as the strongest piece of removal that I see here. It is a pretty stacked pack, although stacked like in cards that are all kind of in the same range, right? We've got here a rare that's been downshifted to uncommon, as we've seen it come back in different places. Final Reward, more good removal. Beneath the Sands is a place to go. You know, base green, 4 and 5 color is a real deal. Nest of Scarabs is a reasonable build around. I don't want to take it here, but if you find that you're doing a lot of this, this can do stuff. You just really need to be throwing a lot of -1/-1 counters around. This needs a lot of support to be worth running, but if you've got it, you can do it. Splendid Agony, Final Reward, strong picks. I don't see taking Beneath yet, even though it does kind of work with our first pick. And yeah, we can take Splendid Agony, and then maybe if the Nest does wheel, we have that signal. And I'm okay with green, black as a -1 counter management color pair in the format. River Hoopu is an interesting pickup here to go long and controlling. Watchful Naga kind of like seems really bad now that we've seen that blue one in M21, right? Like I just kind of want to be able to attack with the creature and have it draw a card. We're not going to take this. This doesn't really do anything. Oh, Ketra's Avenger, a great 2-drop for the aggro decks, another Fanbearer. So we're kind of passing a good white aggro deck so far, but I do like taking River Hoopoe here. And seeing about heading into a more controlling base green deck. Hoodie B can go in that deck, even though it's not super controlling. It's kind of mid-rangey, but it can be aggro too. It's just good enough to run regardless. Horror of the Broken Lands, a fine inclusion in any black deck, heavy black deck because of the cycling for a single black. When you play this, it's a fine creature. If you're in a dedicated cycling / discard deck, it gets actively quite good, but it's a fine playable in any black deck. But I think Hoodie B is fine given our base green approach to the start here. White is pretty open here. Another Fan Bearer, Talkrop Elite, although maybe the table doesn't respect the Talkrop. I've noticed that. Take the Essence Scatter. I would like to play the River Hoopoe, although this could be splashed quite easily. So there is that. But I still think the Essence Scatter is among the best cards here. Competing with it are Desert, Talkrop, Fan Bearer, and Nefkrop Entangler. And the fact that there are 3 pickable white cards here at pick 5 is somewhat signally in terms of its density. None of them are just over the top amazing. It's just the fact that there are 3 of them. But I like Essence Scatter with the blue card already in the pile. Beneath the Sands, this is more like where I want to take this type of card, or we can take a Doomfall or a Horror. But I do like Beneath the Sands. We have a Splendid Agony, we have a Hoopoe we might want to splash rather than make our main color, although we do have this Essence Scatter now. In any case, I'm going to take Beneath the Sands. It'll help us ramp and fix, or it will just replace itself if we've already done that. Aven Initiate is also a consideration. But again, fairly replaceable. Despite this, was very high on this card when I saw this in the first format where it appeared in Amonkhet, but it underperformed there just because of actually how aggressive it was. Desert of the Glorified or Desert of the Mindful. I like both of these over the Quarry Hauler here. Binding Mummy this late. Man, I think it's too late to pivot to white, but the white deck going by here is pretty darn good. Yeah, and I do feel like we're looking more blue than black, so I'm going to take the blue desert. But I am noting the white. I still, like, if we were heavy black, like, imagine that all the green we had was black and we just had a green splash and a green fight card. I would totally have gone on the white signal from here and started picking up white cards, because the white signal is pretty strong that we're seeing. But I just think we're too far away from any cohesive white strategy with the cards we already have. So despite observing the openness of white, I still think, even though we're in pack 1, it feels too late to pivot to it. I've said that before and then felt wrong later, but that's where I'm feeling right now. Charioteer, possibly splashable. We could just take a Shed Weakness. And I'll take the Charioteer. Shed Weakness is monocolored in our main color. Charioteer adds red, which is not great. But wow, this is interesting. Fanbearer still here, but Cartouche still here. Desert of the Mindful still here. Shed Weakness is a fine card, Rob. It's not. I mean, it's a playable card. Good synergy. It needs synergy, I think, before it's good. But I think I'm going to take another Desert here over that tempting Cartouche. But I just feel like I like settling into kind of blue-green here, base blue-green, and another Beneath the Sands. So now I'm just looking to ramp and fix and do big stuff. Here, I like this. Cycle for 1, hexproof 5/5. If we cast this, it'll probably be good. If we don't, we get a card out of it. Naga Oracle coming here late is also fine. Yeah, I said. Well, I don't know what is pretty hot. Like, you say, LR has what? What are we talking about? The combat trick. LR has the combat trick, quote, pretty high, end quote. What does that mean? What is that? Do they have it at B-? That's pretty high. I doubt they have it at B-, right? I think they probably have it at C+. We do have a cartouche, so we can take a trial and maybe even get some extra value out of the cartouche. Or sorry, out of the trial. Cast the trial twice. It doesn't cost us anything but a stalwart to do so. I do like the stalwart, though. I do like the stalwart. Maybe, yeah, if we were clearly base black, I would consider the bone picker. But you don't get the death trigger consistently. It's fine. We would rather have Trial or Rona's. I'm just questioning whether or not we want to get a 2-drop given our curve, but Trial is strong enough to take here. Another Hoodie B. Ritualist, though, is more important, I think, for what we're doing. Rags to Riches, also interesting, but the double black with where we're at, I'm seeing us as base blue-green looking to splash other stuff. You want the aerial guide. I want to take the Ritualist and make sure we get one of these. I don't think we, quote, need to fly beef. I mean, that would be one way to win a game, hat, right? But we have a lot of ways to decide how to win this game. I would rather get the fixing to allow us to take anything we want to splash. Like, if you get a couple Ritualists, you can splash 2-color cards. You could, quote, splash a Rags or whatever, because you have multiple ways to produce double of one color. So I'm going to take the Ritualist as what this deck seems to me to need more than others. Here, Lay Claim. This is a good ramp target, I think. 7 mana is a lot for Bolas's Clutches, right? Extra mana for Bolas's Clutches, but you can cycle it away if you're nowhere near it. So we're going to totally take the Lay Claim. Well, we're also ramping, keep in mind, but Beneath the Sands and the Ritualist and other rampers that we're looking for, we want to steal stuff quite early if we can do it. And take that, wheel the blue cartouche or the whatever was over in that corner there. Probably just taking this desert. Don't want this reduce. Lethal Sting is okay here, but I'm just going to take a desert. Shimmer Scale Drake, also a consideration. Norbert wants a creature. I'm going to be greedy, which is to say taking cards that don't fill out our playables. Sometimes I can end up short on playables because I've taken too many deserts, but right now I'm willing to do that. Love Illumination here. Don't love the lack of green and blue in the pack, but also, again, we are setting ourselves up to splash anything we want. Glorious End, though, not where we want to be. You have to... Yeah, this is just not a limited card. If I actually were going to get gems out of it, I'd be with you on that front. Here we have Ramp/Fixing. It's only ramp if you do the exertion, but it also does allow you to play double of a splash if you have one land for the splash. You can tap it and then untap it to get another. Oasis, though, not a bad... kind of the middle of the pack in terms of these lands, but I think taking a bear that helps our ramp is too checking a couple of boxes of need for us, so I like taking that there. Vizier is ramp and in our core color, so I'm going to follow with that. I pass in another Cartouche of Ambition, but Vizier is on plan. Hoodie B here at this pick is nice. I was going to take a Splendid Agony for more splashy splash, but Hoodie B is just fine. Bone Picker wheels anyway. How about that? Do we even want it? We have a Spellweaver Eternal that fits in our core color and slots in at 2. I actually think we need a Spellweaver Eternal more than a Bone Picker. Wall. Yeah, you could argue Wall, but I would rather just have a... I mean, if you want a 2-drop for defensive purposes, let's get something that can trade. We can splash deserts. Strategic planning. Obviously, this replaces itself and is not the worst, but I think I'm not going to take the planning here. Here's a shed. This is where I don't mind picking up a shed weakness, although Ancient Crab also not bad for a turn 3. I rather have Hooded Brawler at 3 than Ancient Crab, though. All right. Great Drake pickup here. Not playing that basically ever. Wow. Okay, last pick. Land spell. Another lay claim. Here's one of the sweepers I was talking about. We could also take a sweeper. Take a sweeper and control them weenies. But I think just another lay claim with all of our ramp is perfect. Vitalist, maybe that wheels. Maybe the Brawler comes back. I would play a Countervailing Winds or Winds of Rebuke. Any of these 4 cards, if they came back, would be fine with me. We could splash a Paincaster. That's what they want you to... That's why it's here, Haj. That's why it's here. Definitely taking claim. Yeah, I'm just looking at what else might happen in this. But this claim is a plan. Double claim is a plan for this deck. Got another cartouche that I'm likely going to take, but let's see what's going on. Sweltering Suns, if you wanted to deal 3 damage to a creature in a different way, you can choose Sweltering Suns instead. Again, we have the ability to splash. I just don't think that's where we want to be, though. I'd rather get this pinpoint stuff. I think the cartouche is fine, especially because it works with the trial we have. Quarry Hauler, Splendid Agony, Spring to Mind is fine. Although now we're kind of ramping to nowhere. We got a Wrath of God for if as if the magic gods needed to make my point for me. There's a lot of sweepers. Maybe we do take Wrath. Again, we can splash just about anything, although we only have 1 Ritualist. It's double Ritualist that makes me feel like we can get away with that. So I'm just gonna stick to our ramping guns here. Defiant Great Maw, probably the Unquenchable Thirst, though. We do have we have several deserts that are gonna make the Unquenchable Thirst fine. Maybe we wheel this one. Defiant Great Maw is okay, but it ends up kind of being a mid-rangey whatever. And I would rather have the nice removal spell, especially in our green-blue colors that don't have great removal. If I want to play Historic, would I rare draft? Sure. You know me. I mean, yeah, you can rare draft. I think the cost of a pick is a lot lower than people think. We have a lot of ramp now. Maybe it's time for something like Ominous Sphinx or even a Feral Prowler. But Sphinx is good enough. We'll just take a. This can help win a game, right? Big old 5-mana flyer. I'm in for that. And despite all this splashing, looks like we're not going to splash much. Maybe a little black, but I'm taking another cartouche. Starting to worry that I have more cartouches than creatures, but we have a lot of cycling. We'll be okay. Riddle Form, another cartouche. Speaking of too many cartouches, not enough creatures. Maybe we want the Quarry Hauler here. Oh yeah, Wrath is a great constructed card. Yeah, 4th cartouche seems a little much. I think we need to take Seeker. I'll take a Quarry Hauler, I guess. Here, though, I like a Companion. Just add something we can do at 3, at 2. A 3 power at 2 mana is fine here. Hoodie Bee did come back. Lots of Hoodie Bees. Haj likes the cheetah. In the abstract, I'm with you, Haj, but I just was in curve consideration. I want to drop stuff on. I want to drop this on 2. I want to have clean 2 drops and not get rolled by aggro. Can take another one of these, but I guess we'll take a planning. I don't think we're playing a planning, though. Desert over another Quarry Hauler. I think with 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, we got a lot of playables. I'll take the desert. Another desert. I'm running them too. And here's this ramp that I wasn't even sure we wanted a third copy of. We'll see. Yes, this companion is not busted. When you have as much fixing as we do, it can be tempting to run an off-color desert just because it's an ETB tapped colorless land that cycles, and that can be good enough, but I don't think we're going to do that. And I don't think we were splashing for a charioteer. That's the thing. We had all this capability of splashing. We just didn't get there on need. If we could run the agony, I don't think we need to do that. You're welcome, Pac-Man. I passed two of them to you. What are the other ones you got? It only cycles if you have the corresponding basic. What do you mean? All you need is the ability to produce black mana, and you can cycle it. And we have that in the Ritualist, but we don't have that in the Beneath the Sands, which maybe is what Mike is getting at. Well, Pac-Man, I hope you built around your ability to sweep, and I hope you don't try to meet up with me in actual gameplay. All right. We're close here. Let's see. Look at our numbers. 15, 13. Yeah. Combat happens a lot in the format, which makes combat tricks inherently better, but it's still not really what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to go long and lay claim. And maybe we can get rid of Seeker as whatever. I don't want to go too low on creatures here, but I like all these 2s. Definitely like these 3s. Maybe we don't need all the ramp, but no, I think I like these 3s. We could ditch a Ritualist. Maybe I need to get rid of 1 Beneath the Sands because we have Spring to Mind, which is like a better Beneath the Sands. And with so much cycling and card draw, I think we can get away with lower land count. Those of you who played a lot of Ikoria, especially in the cycling decks, you can see how, those cycling decks ran very few lands on the strength of 1 mana cyclers. I get that much. But my point is that generally, if you're cycling a bunch in your deck, you are going to just naturally draw deeper into your deck and therefore naturally have a larger chunk of basic lands that you can't cycle. So I am inclined to drop to 16 here on the strength of Hope Tender, Beneath the Sands, Spring to Mind, Vizier of Tumbling Sands, and a bunch of cycling. I think we'll be fine. So if we do that, I think we go ahead and cut our non-blue-green stuff. And again, just have a surprisingly no splash. We just didn't see, like, if we opened a Glorybringer pack 3, I would have drafted it and tried to run it. So what does that do? That's 16 lands. That's 41. That's 14 creatures, 11 non. I don't want to spoil it with Simic, but we can certainly slam it. You want to cut one of these cartouches? Maybe that's right. Cartouches do work with the trial, though, and they are some of our only removal. Any other options? Any other thoughts? I'm struggling for my last cut here. Almost want to make it a Naga Oracle. We have a camel in here? What camel are we talking about? Oh, this camel. Quarry Hauler. That's true. Maybe this is too weak. Maybe what we're doing, Naga Oracle, a 2-4 better than a 4-3. Okay. Sounds good. And no splashing. Pool rules. Soul Ring sleeves for Mama. Anybody else? I'm going to pick some lands if nobody else is. Nyx. Let's see. Do I have enough green? 6, 7, 8. Actually, probably want to do this. I want 9 sources of green. And then we get 7 sources of blue. And that may mean we have a tougher time casting our blue 2-drops, but I want 9 green because of Spring, Hope Tender, and Beneath the Sands all fixing the blue. It's much more of a disaster for us to have no green than it is to have no blue, because no blue is something we can fix via spells and draws. That's a good one. I think I'll save that MC Hammer joke for the next draft. For the next cartouche draft. Just gonna get going here. I don't know what you think of this one. I was hoping to splash some monstrous stuff, but we just did not get anything to splash. Doesn't mean it's bad, just means it doesn't have the highest ceiling that I was thinking this a deck like this could have. But what's par? Well, and as I said, having being stuck on green is way worse than being stuck on blue. We have a decision to make now. We do have cycling 2, and 2 lands, and Oppo is going first, and we have River Hoopoe, which is a really nice place to get to, and an Unquenchable Thirst with a desert. So I'm going to keep, even though we don't have our green yet. There's enough going on here. Enough factors make me feel like we'll find our green in time. In general, we're going to find our green in time. But if we don't draw a land, or if we don't find a green source off the top, we're going to have to cycle something. So let's plan to cycle the Shimmer Scale Drake. So we have 2 more shots at finding at least a land, if not a green source. All right, there's at least a land. We could also cycle the Illumination. I think I'm going to cycle the Illumination first, and then we'll play the desert if we don't find a forest. If we find a forest, we get to play River Hoopoe. Nope, being teased a little bit by the deck. I'm gonna, well, actually I'm gonna play the island and cycle this desert. We really don't need a fourth source of blue. We really need to find something not blue. So I'm gonna play the island and cycle this desert at the end of Oppo's turn. So a fourth blue source doesn't really do much for us on this board, even if we cycle this and don't find land. Five. It shrinks, but as long as they keep casting non-creature spells, it gets to stay reasonably big. This does not have flash or anything, but if we can't find anything for next turn, we'll go ahead and pin that down with an unquenchable thirst. All right, there's a green source and a live green source if we want that instead. Let's see, beneath enters tapped, so we can't do. I think I like untapped forest, Hoopu thirst. Uses all of our mana, and if we draw a land even, it sets us up next turn to get value out of this, and we kind of tell Oppo, kill this now or we're going to start getting big value. Now they probably kill it now, but it's kind of a must kill, which is, you know, you can get really disappointed when your sweet cards like River Hoopu get snap killed, but you got to remember that that's part of their job. Part of their job is to attract premium removal, just so, and get it out of their hand so that your Hoodie Bees can go the distance, you know? Now, what do we offer them given that? I mean, if they're spinning their wheels on the trial a little bit, I mean, we have to give up something else to the 3 damage unless we want to create something with 4 toughness. I like a Beneath the Sands here and get some more green. And then, do we play the desert is the question. So I'm going to get land, but you all tell me whether you'd play the desert or save it for cycling. What does playing it get us? Playing it gets us 6 next turn, maybe 7. 6 next turn lets us go Hooded Brawler, cartouche it up, and kill something, although it still ends up with the Brawler dead off of the Zeal. So, yeah, let's play it to 2 spell next turn, but I think we go with 2 Hoodie Bees and offer up one of them to Oppo and then cartouche the heck out of the other one. Three Hoodie Bees. All right, well, you get one of them, Oppo. At least. One that we know of. Pause from Oppo can't be explained by anything I'm seeing on the cards, so we should keep that in mind. Oppo's got some sort of instant. All right, looks like Oppo's going to get 2 of 3. Yeah, we didn't see any Magma Sprays again. Well, this is not... doesn't have flash, at least. The trouble is this is also a fight. So a 3-2 becomes a 4-3, but still trades straight up with the Obstructionist. Oh, thank you, yeah. Well, someone was saying cut a cartouche, and I was saying I was a little worried about having a lot of cartouches without the creatures for it, but this is extreme. I mean, you don't expect to draw all 3 of them in a typical game. As it is now, we can trade Hoodie Bee and a cartouche for like the Shimmer Scale. Then they have this for the next creature. We're not going to have the second generate gaming, though. If we go Hooded Brawler cartouche on it, it's just dying to the trial, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just play the Brawler to at least trade for the trial. We have to do that at some point. The question is, we could also trade, we could 2-for-1 ourselves for like the Obstructionist or the Drake, but then they have a trial waiting for our next thing. That's my concern there. But I suppose we got to do it. This is not great, obviously. But better than dying. Give ourselves a chance here. Sure, Oppo's ripping gas. We're almost there. This is what we want to cast. I think we actually have to try and land this, because then we could... this is our hope, is basically an untapped... a basic land. If we get a basic land next turn, we drop a 5/5 hexproof. They can't trial it. We go to 11... we go to 11, 10, 9. Then we go to 8, 7, 6. And at 6 mana, we play a River Winder that can hold off the Archer. We take 6. Then we kill the Obstructionist. So I think it's our only, that's our hope. We really need a basic off the top now. Or I guess maybe a removal I'm not thinking of. Like, what else could we draw? I mean, lay claim, except that still needs land. So yeah, we really need a basic. Yeah, 9 the turn after is not sustainable, but if we get a basic land here, we have a plan. Is this any target? Yeah, so they can face us. All right. Come on, make it interesting, Magic Gods. I'm not asking for a guaranteed win, just a basic land to keep it interesting. As it is, we dead, right? Or not, we're close to dead. 3, 4, 5. No, we're dead. Yeah, with the casting this, triggering the Archer, that just actually kills us. Too bad. Yeah, we cycle, but I don't think there's not removal we have that's actually going to help. Maybe we find a ground creature. I guess a ground creature to distract the trial would keep us alive. So, oh wait, that doesn't cycle. We got to cycle our River Winder. I was thinking it was the other one. Of course, thank you, deck. Just the wrong order. I will make them see it and play it into our open mana, though. You never know. Sometimes Oppos will be gun shy for some reason. We're going to make him do it. But I need to go a little bit of control-y here if we're going to sell it. I'm going to give them credit for attacking. The only question is whether they were going to cast the trial into no creatures. They figured it out. Kind of just drew stuff in the wrong order there. Drawing Trips Cartouche on a creature light situation was part of the risk of the deck, but an unlikely one. So, yeah. It's not going to make me rush to take out a cartouche. It's just going to make me say, darn it, we got very unlucky to draw that many of our cartouches in that spot. Yeah, we still almost turned the corner, right? Just got one different draw and we could have turned that corner. More mocking of our need for green fundamentally. But I'm also disinclined to mulligan this. I don't want to go down a card. I think this is strong enough to not go down a card for. We can play one out, play this out, and cycle this if we don't draw a forest by then, or consider playing both. So I'm going to keep. Again, yeah, we do have the cycling. Play out one desert, go into island, cycle this, looking for green. Aggro zombies, this could be tough. They've got the play and one drop. Let's see what their 2 is. This could be how this goes could be dictated heavily by what they play right here. Like Doom to Center, that's pretty good for us. That's not a big worry. They have to figure out how to kill that. We're just gonna not kill it for now. So funny, deck, so funny. However, with not being under huge pressure here, I'm going to play the desert as a land, play it tapped. Then next turn we have island, hieroglyphic illumination. Although does that make us have to? Let's see. We do this. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. Next turn we draw 7. Place it. Yeah, it works. I just was seeing if we have to discard, and we won't have to discard. You'd cycle the desert, Norbert? I just want to guarantee at this point the illumination given the lack of pressure we're under, so I'm going to do that. Mike wants to cycle the desert. Looks like some on the team here think I should be cycling this. I'm playing for the guaranteed illumination given the lack of pressure. Why was killing a 3-1 better as opposed to a 3-4 Tron? I don't understand that. Well, yeah, you're going to have to explain yourself, because in the abstract, a 3-4 flyer is better than a 3-1 flyer, so we took out the best one. Both of them were a trade. All right, got some green. Eventually we have a nice hexproof 5/5. I'm going to try hard not to cycle this. That's true, I could have waited. I was thinking it was sorcery. Let's see, can we... I like having the essence scatter. We're going to need to use removal on the top crop eventually, but like we could ritualist. I think I really want essence scatter up, which basically leaves me with spring essence scatter or companion essence scatter. Companion, not a good blocker here unless we want to block a fan bearer. I suppose it keeps off 2 fan bearers. Yeah. Norbert wants to drop a 4/4 flyer. They can just fan bearer it though, but if it lives, we can do some stuff after that, I suppose. We get to cartouche. Maybe we do need to just Sphinx and hope it lives. I just don't think it will, is my problem. But if we draw a basic land, we have Ritualist scatter next turn. That's true. Spring takes a turn off of defense to get to this faster, which we could have done. Putting them to the test here to have some removal for the Sphinx beyond fan bearers. If they spend half their mana here to tap the Sphinx, then that's not bad. Hopefully they're out of stuff and we can use cartouche to kill the top crop and then essence scatter up after that and then turn the corner on this one. Norbert doesn't like going no blocker when by going spring, hold up, scatter, Oppo can exert the elite and get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage in. All right, we did find more land. We can go Cartouche, hold up Essence Scatter. We can go Spring, Cartouche. I like Cartouche, or we can go Ritualist, hold up Essence Scatter. I like getting rid of this Talk Crop ASAP. So I'm going with Cartouche, kill Talk Crop, hold up Scatter. That's my plan. We go shields down on scatter for a turn to ensure Riverwinder, but then we're not scattering for a while. I am going to hold scatter here. Major Mega Force wants to play the spring. I want to sneak in the scatter and then go spring into Riverwinder, etc. Or else we're not casting the scatter for like 5 turns, and their big value stuff probably hits the board by then. So hoping to get something reasonable with the scatter here, and then go into our more proactive game plan. Interesting. Could have put the Cartouche on a fan bearer and killed their Dissenter, but I guess they get a 2/2 lifelink this way. Looks like our scatter was a blank this time. That was one of the risks of this and why someone would want to play the spring, to be sure to get value instead of us now getting basically no value unless we want to cycle the Hexproofer, which I don't. Took the risk and got burned, but at least it means they did not play anything super significant. Now, I like Ritualist, Scatter, keeping up the Scatter, and then keeping up both defenders and making them tap them both. If this all survives now, we get to exert the Ritualist to lay claim or Riverwinder. Laying claim the Dissenter seems interesting. Just take their... Or maybe I might need to take a fan bearer. You want to play the Companion? Well, it's not too late. We could. Yeah, but if they want to stop this damage, they use up their whole turn to tap down 2 things and get us to 5. That doesn't seem too rough. That's true. If they do land something, that's a reasonable reason. If I'm looking to lay claim, I'm happy to lay claim any of these, though. But we can play this on the strength of, if they land a big creature, if it doesn't have hexproof, we can lay claim to it. Strictly Cheese wants to hold the scatter. I liked Mike's reasoning there, Cheese, that going shields down on scatter here just gives us hopefully something to target with lay claim. That's why I crack my wilds as soon as I play it, right? Well, that's unfortunate, but we still have blocks. They still don't really have great attacks here. This is going to be rough, though. So now... need to... Let's go ahead and Ritualist out a Riverwinder, I think. Just also figuring out if I'm playing... I guess we hold that for cycle. And we don't even need to exert, although I feel pretty confident they're going to cast this, but we don't even need to exert. So we're going to lose probably both our creatures here in an epic 3-for-1. Grind to Dust is going to 3-for-1 us. Rough. But hopefully the Riverwinder makes up for all that and gives us tools to get there. I'm being greedy with the desert. I don't even think we need to lay claim, like, especially with that. Now we're gonna, I'm still gonna be greedy on desert. We have Thirst, Spring. I'm gonna go Spring, hold up Essence Scatter. If they don't do anything worth scattering, we have Cycle Desert. Although if they play something we want to lay claim to, we maybe let it resolve and just cycle and then claim it. Yeah, like we're going to let that resolve, cycle our land, and just lay claim to the flyer. Especially because Essence Scatter just gives them Embalm on this anyway. Well, of course, if they kill it, they get it back. But yeah, we'll let this happen. Mike says Scatter. I say Steal. I say Steal. But we can just save this for something else. I mean, I don't know. I hear you, but if we steal it and they spend the whole game tapping it, then we've 1-for-1 with it and not... Really, we've 2-for-1. Keep Fanbearer busy and steal their creature. Huh. I'm going to have to revisit that play later. Seems like a lot of you like the Mike line. I feel like that feels like fancy play syndrome. Why are we not just taking this? As opposed to using a removal spell to let them redo it and then take it. Then we don't have Essence Scatter. Anyway, yeah, I'm just going to take it. I'm just trying to figure out this line that that chat seems to like that I'm not taking and what that's about. But I'm going to I'm not getting aggro with the Riverwinder yet. This is really just our defensive wall. Sure, but they have to kill it. And if they just have Fanbearer, which is all they've shown, then they can't. Now we can quench. Let's go to attacks though and make them start using Fanbearer on the attendant. What do you want to lay claim? You think it's worth taking the hollow one? I don't think. I think our big, the priority ones are the kind of the fan bearers, but we do need something. I mean, we have this to stop the hollow one, right? So let's go Thirst on Bearer. Have Weaver or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We definitely want to keep Scatter up, but I think I like Hoopu. I'm kind of counting on our Riverwinder to stop the hollow one, whereas these fan bearers do stuff besides attack. Mike wants the Weaver. Yeah, if we go Weaver, we can play Hoopu and use it if we just wait and do that. I like Mike's suggestion there. Go with Spell Weaver. It's very expendable, and let's play River Hoopu when we can activate it on the turn we cast it. It's a great way to get value out of these cards that are lightning rods that your opponent feels like they have to kill or they lose. So if they have activated abilities and you can It doesn't require tapping, so 7 mana lets you replace River Hoopoe before they can kill it. If I could cast a spell and make this big, it wouldn't even matter because the -1 stays there. So sure, they get a start. All-Star, Striped Riverwinder. I guess if you're in a controlling blue deck, you get yourself a Riverwinder. Well, I don't know what buffs might be found from Oppo, but if they have like +2/+2 and we don't block the hollow one, we lose. So we pretty much have to block the hollow one, which means we are probably losing the Riverwinder, but maybe if we then steal the Fan Bearer, we can still manage this game. But I'm feeling like this is where we lose the Riverwinder and we have no choice in the matter. And we take 6, we live, and try to find our way. This Essence Scatter has been actively bad this game. I don't know if Oppo is playing around it specifically or it's just how things have lined up, but frustrating to miss that. Do we have time to lay claim? We can't really lay claim and live. I guess we can lay claim the Fan Bearer and have a chump. The trouble is we get it tapped, so we're only going to have 1 untapped permanent. Hoopoe gives us some hoop, but again, I think we almost might need to cycle the claim. I guess we'll hold. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. We can kill the bearer and get big enough to block the dissenter. All right. That's great draw. Or we hope it is. Let's see what they've got for this. You want to claim the dissenter, huh? What? I don't know. I like my line. No tappers now. We get Hoopoe and the Essence Scatter.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Well, no choices here, but good news. If they do anything to... maybe they're just making a zombie, but if they actually... well, let's see. If we double block, what are we getting out of it? I guess we're offering the Hoopoe instead of the Attendant. Sure, we'll double block. That beats Agony. Mike wants a single block, but I'm with Haj here, Mike. If they have something, yeah, they get the River Hoopoe, but then we keep the Attendant. So I'm gonna make him have it. Yeah, I hear you. I like Haj's line. I'm going to take the double block. Well, hello. Let's just steal that, shall we? We're gonna let that happen and lay claim. Norbert would have countered. I guess I got greedy. We'll see how it works out. All right, well, we do have Essence Scatter. Might need the Tumbler here. Let's see, we can also get some life. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Hoopu is 5, so we can go Vizier for extra ground. Yeah, we can activate this first if that's our plan anyway. Maybe we find something better than Vizier. And Hoodie B could be that. Hoodie B threatens to trade with the Bone Slasher. So yeah, let's play the Hoodie B. I know Vizier cycles, but we actually need creatures more than we need to go through our deck. I would hate to cycle, although this, yeah, we can throw a -1 counter around. That's true. I did not fully read my Arcfiend. But I hear you, and we'll get there. We'll do that next turn. That's true. We have loot 2. This doesn't do that, though, does it? Let's just draw 2. Yeah, I hear you, Hat. Reading. Okay, so now how do we want to do this? I guess we have to go Brawler, Fiend, Chump. Gotta keep this Fiend, I think. All right, that's good because we can get Defender on the ground for the Bone Slasher and do the cycle trick and hold up Essence Scatter. So can kind of do it all here, and we get to do this. The second part, both of these can happen at instant speed. So we're going to play the Oracle and pass. That's nice. Why is that bad auto tap? Half and half is all right, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, sure, that's fair. Do we want all this though? Let's see. Probably. It's all good, all action. I'm gonna go submit 0 and keep them in this order. I could have attacked, I suppose, and had the untap, but I'm being hyper conservative here. There's a really weird interface there. Yeah, I think that's fair, Zach. I think I was too conservative there, but you can understand my mentality right here at 3 life. I was just being more conservative than I needed to be. And actually, I could have done it if I had done it on our turn. I could have actually played Hoodie B. Then we wouldn't have had Essence Scatter though. We could draw 2 cards. If we find a basic, we can still play Hoodie. But I would rather just go Hoodie, Scatter. No. All right, now I'm at a place where I'm willing to like start swinging, but I'm going to mind first. Let's mind here. And now we have a trial post-combat. Now I'm just going to start sending hoodies until they're dead or the hoodie's dead. We send more than one. We're also on 14 to our 8, so maybe we need to get on this a little faster. I'm actually going to send... Well, we could send like Naga and Hoodie. And then, like, send a hoodie every other turn. You would just regular swing both. Offer trades. Playing out all of these cyclers. What cyclers? Okay. Regular attacks then. Well, if they trade, we do get some big damage in. Fanbearer puts some new pressure on us because every other turn they can get the double block going on. Or the double tap, sorry. So if we attack now, maybe we need to start... Well, if we attack in the air, then the attendant gets to crack back unopposed. But yes, the Fanbearer will start tapping the Archfiend anyway, so... really are going to attack, and we're in a position of having to get some luck here. I think we go attack, and if we exert here, then we play a tender, and they tap 1. We still have 3 blockers for the ground, and we're still applying a lot of pressure here. So I'm gonna do it this way now. Well, that's assuming they don't get removal. I don't want to die to a single piece of removal off the top. Got to remember our Oasis as well. We can sacrifice deserts once a turn to add +3/+3 to our attacks. But the question is, are we just dead to the flyer? And now it looks like we are. Didn't expect the Lord. Well, gang, here we are again, 0-2 with the deck I'm pretty pleased with. I don't know. Maybe I'm not piloting at optimal, but close games. We keep nearly turning the corner, but coming up a little short. I don't know. But when you get to cast 2 spells that steal one of your opponent's permanents, it feels weird to have lost. I'll say that. All right, well, at least we have a Beneath the Sands for fixing, but I cannot believe our crappy luck. We can't get 2 different colored mana to start our freaking hand to save our lives. Yeah, I didn't say it was a 10 hat, but this is a fine deck. Certainly not something I would expect to pilot to 03. Can save the desert here, though, with 2 lands we have already. Yeah, we're definitely holding the desert now because we can play Beneath based on what we've got already. There was nothing in the last game that was going to get us there before that. The fan bearer and the flyer put us to a test that we could not pass. Well, I guess I just cycle the desert. I mean, I just pitched the desert that we were going to cycle anyway. The trouble is, Swordsman, I think heuristics from either of the original sets don't hold up as well because this is not either of the original formats, right? This is a combination of them. So I think we're all learning exactly where the speed is here. Taking some more damage to get set up here, but what else is there to do? No land, we at least have Ritualist. We could conceivably, with an island... Yeah, we're just doing Ritualist and hoping we can fight our way out of this. If the Ritualist dies, could be some trouble. Why does it have that border? What does that border mean? Indestructible? Must mean... okay, it's indestructible. Got it. Clearly seems tricksy. But we gotta say no blocks. Yeah, and just try and kill the mummy... with Hoopu Cartouche. But already feeling bad about this one. We haven't done anything defensive quickly enough. Now at 4-2, though, I like making this a 3-5 and fighting that. Wish we had more mana. Ugh. Not great, but here we are. Hoopu, you want to make a... you just want to 2-for-1 ourselves to kill the 4-2 so that we can have our 2-4? Why not just make a 3-5 and kill it without... Exert and Double Fight is interesting. Does the thing die, though? 4, 5, 6? Yeah, it still kills the Ritualist is my problem there, Norbert. I'm going to go with my gut here and take out this Javelineer. Have a pretty tough blocker. We could also exert for something like a Hoodie Bee or just play the River Hoopu and block with it. I think actually maybe we do that and I put the Hoopu at risk. You want to exert for Hoodie? Yeah, we could exert for Hoodie too. That gives us a trade though, but maybe we're expecting anyway. I guess if we're expecting that they have a trick or something, we should go ahead and play Hoodie. We're already losing to what's on board. I don't have time to sit around scattering stuff, right? So, trouble is, Mike, I think we'd be in trouble if we have a tapped... if we have a tapped Ritualist next turn, then what are we doing? I guess we can cartouche something in that spot still. Okay, since we can cartouche and kill something else, I'll do it. I'll do it. That's where I landed, Mike. I had to get there, though. I really don't like leaving this tapped for next turn, but we do have another cartouche to basically use this to use the Ritualist to kill something. Never mind. But we're still going to try and trade for the Scorpion, because with a land, we still have River Hoopoe Cartouche next turn. Ooh, good attack, because if we Hoopoe Cartouche the Scorpion, we lose the Hoopoe. So I'm going to take 2 here. All right, we did find our land. That's quite important here. Big pause from Oppo on 2 untapped lands. Nothing. This is not... So one of these is an instant. That's worth keeping in mind. But yeah, we're going to use the Hoopoe for the fight. We can't really beat anything else anyway. We got to do what we've got. Yeah, it might be cycle. We hope it is, actually. Then it means this will still work. Here we are again, kind of hanging by the cliff by our fingertips and trying. Okay, 2 Merciless Javelineers is what's going on here. Discard a card, put a -1, can't block this turn. All right, well, snap blocking that. Interesting. If we can survive delay claim, maybe we'll get there. If we activate Hoopoe, we can't scatter though, so I'm going to hold. See if we have to scatter something, and if not, draw a card, gain some life. Now, if they attack, are we blocking? I think we probably have to, and then we'll take a trade and a card. But they also have discard and shrink, so maybe we just have to take? Maybe we have to take. Right? Because if we block, they just discard something, make our Hoopoe a 1/3, and then we're destroyed. So... all right, they're just going for it anyway. All right, in that case, still no reason to activate. We can still hold up the scatter. Now, if they have 3 speed, instant speed 3, that could be rough. All right, all right. Well, certainly going shields down here to lay claim and hopefully get this javelin here. We could attack with the Hoopoe. I don't have a full grasp of the haste that's in the set, but they are playing red, so I'm going to stay back. Not knowing the set, I'd rather forsake a point of damage with them at 20 to prevent us from having a hasty disaster. Another lay claim. That's nice. Unfortunately, right now, we can't Sphinx hold up scatter. So I am going to start sending the 4-2. Although now that we have the mana to gain life, I can probably attack with the river as well. The Hoopoe, because we're at a virtual 7. I think we lived through any... Well, this doesn't even require a tap. You want to hold it up for defense, Mike? I'm on attack and activate, holding up scatter. And that's a nice place for us to be. Yeah, my only question is whether Mike's suggesting we don't attack with the Hoopoe. We have a essence scatter if they have a hasty creature, right? Blighted Bat. I'm going to scatter while we have something to scatter. More haste, by the way. Let's... I was eagerly going to cycle, but we could just play the Ominous Sphinx and then start cycling after. I think I like that. Or we could draw, get some more life. But let's drop the Sphinx, and if they play something awesome, we get to lay claim to it anyway. Yeah, 1 toughness we can just snap kill with our new friend the Javelineer. That's... I guess they need some of the stuff in their yard to have any chance, so they're trying that. Yeah, it's true. I could have snapped off the bat. That's again, it's not in my own deck, so I'm kind of forgetting how to use that. Yeah, we'd be better off with a Essence Scatter in hand, 1 desert gone, and have that be our plan. But that 1 point of attack is at least 1 turn of clock for Oppo. That's something to note here. But we can actually just Oasis and win, right? Let's note that. Let's do that. I'm going to go with the highest toughness in case they happen to have instant speed burn or, removal or something like that. It's toughness based. Maybe don't even need to send the River Hoopoe. If they can answer either of these, the other 2 aren't lethal anyway. So I'm going to send the 2 that are lethal if they have no answers. Continuing to play a little cagey around possible removal. Mike likes swing all. I guess we had enough life that maybe I didn't need to protect that, but all right, we finally got one. Yeah, I was kind of being bounced around in my head there about holding back or attacking, changing the clock, protecting against haste. There was some tension there that maybe I didn't manage perfectly, but at least we Got one win in this thing. Yeah, perhaps playing for the guaranteed 2-turn clock over worrying about haste was better there. Hey, we have both colors of our mana in our opening hand. That feels like cheating. We don't have any 2s besides a cycler, which I don't want to use. I'd love to cast this lay claim. We're going to keep, though, and hope that Brawler with a cartouche is going to be enough here. Some aggro decks are so good, though, that starting on 3 is just too slow, but we'll see. I can't throw this back. All right, at least we're not getting hyper aggroed. That's good. We could Vizier cycle if we wanted, but I don't think I want to do that. Might even just go Vizier on 3 to get our ramp going. Might depend on what we draw. Getting a Brawler going is nice. And really just all we want to do is get Vizier out by turn 5 so that we can lay claim a turn early. I'm not expecting any board wipe just because they're in blue-white. I mean, I think you can end up in any color pair without... maybe you're talking about what Luis was saying, that if people are in white and it seems controlling, that maybe they have a Wrath. I mean, possibly. But even he was like, it just increases it from some tiny percent to a larger small percent. We're going to go for cycling that and a Hoodie Bee on 3. Start keeping that fan bearer busy or their life total threatened. And it's a classic Skies deck, ostensibly. They didn't play a 4th land, right? So there's that. Let's see if they want to spend their mana on tapping Hoodie. Okay. So given that, if we go land Tumbler, we have what? We have 6 next turn. 6 would let us go Hoodie, Cartouche, and then into the 7th for lay claim. Yeah, I guess another Hoodie if they're... Mike's right, though. If they are stuck on land and using their available mana to tap down our 1 Hoodie, let's play the second one and get our aggro foundation laid. Then, as I said, by turn 5, we can play Vizier and set up lay claim. We have an ETB tapped land and an ETB untapped land. If we draw a basic land, pretty easy to just play the Oasis and the Vizier, knowing that we can... But now we have a choice. Like, I think we just win. We just win, everybody. But in that spot, I liked going ahead and playing the Desert tapped, playing out our Vizier, thus guaranteeing that next turn we would have a lay claim. Well, 0-2 to 2-2 again, just like yesterday. Let's see if we can get to, what did we get to 4? We went 0-2 to 4-3 yesterday. Let's see if we can improve on that. I don't know, Mike, I ended up liking your line. That's funny. Mike changed his line to mine, and I changed mine to his. I like going with Hoodie there because we still got our turn 6 lay claim with that plan. This is another nice keep, but we hope to find land instead of having to cycle away our action looking for land. But we'll see. Any land here, and we get spring on 3, you know, so And Vizier starts untapping stuff. Yeah, with that, and nothing to do on 2, I'm just going to play the desert, and we have a nice turn 3 coming. I think I like Vizier, and we'll see if they want to send... Or we can just play our own companion also as a blocker. I also don't mind if they ramp once. I'm going to go Vizier. I think, let's see. Yeah. That was from Hat. I may have missed a window to play that earlier. Sorry if so, but there you go. Thanks, Hat. Hat was a monster this weekend, making a bunch of memes for you all. I didn't even ask for it. He just gave them to me. Like it was nothing. All right, Forest, and then we have Companion and Trial, or we can Spring. Spring would get us to the River Winder faster. We could go Spring Companion. But yeah, I like just getting a bunch of creatures down. That makes sense. Or we can Shimmer Scale Drake, but a couple of blockers, a couple of stuff that trade with a Exerted Hoodie is nice. Maybe we can actually get some trial value here. We got 3 cartouches. There's Quarry Hauler showing why we ended up making that our final cut. If you're not doing stuff with the counter on permanence, it's a really underwhelming 4-3 for 4. Not the worst. I mean, boy, back in the day, when I was a boy, you took 4 3s for 4 and you liked it. Sure, we'll trade this off though. One, two, three, 4, 5 mana. We could Spring, and then it's still 5 mana. I think I still want to Spring, though, and get the rest of this hand unlocked. We could also just... how is it? We can't do Spring and Hoodie, right? It's not untapped? Yeah. Can't Spring and Hoodie by my count. But we could Drake or Spring just to get it going. Let's, with this board and with the way they're attacking, let's go ahead and do Spring. I'm not feeling under huge pressure here. Let's see, we want more of green or blue. I guess it doesn't matter too much in this spot. I'm going to go with blue. Feels like that's where we've been pinched a little bit historically here. Well, Exertion, asking for an answer. I'm going to offer up this token. We'll see. We'll trade for Trick or Brawler. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So one land, untapped land, and we can just River Winder, which we saw be very annoying for some of our oppos. There it is, and I think I'm going to do that. Let's just River Winder. Oh, it won't let me do it the cheaty way. I got to do it this way. At a nice healthy 16, we're starting to turn the corner. We got draw 2 waiting. Couple of things going on there, but we're going to start with the mind. Oops. Whoa, hello. I mean, we could actually get aggro. Like, I could play Shimmer Scale. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 mana. We could go Shimmer Scale Spellweaver. Maybe that's correct now. I'm attracted to drawing cards, of course, but the proper heuristic is to solidify your board first and then draw cards, unless you're worried about sweepers. And I'm not worried about sweepers. I mean, it's red, they could have them, but actually Shimmer Scale Drake survives a lot of the red sweepers, and I think this is fine. Dump. Hey, Nutter, mahalo. I bet Nutter's a fun person to hang around with. Anybody who just pops into streams to say howdy, have a nice day with Hawaiian greetings is probably a fun person to hang out with. What is this about? Threaten to activate, and I mean, they only, yeah, they're kind of tempting us into the River Winder, but they clearly got some pump or something, so we're just going to say no blocks. Mike wants to block with a 5/5. Why you? Because my expectation here is that they have something to discard to make it +2/+0 in first strike, and then a pump spell to back it up. Yeah, I get it. It's only 1 red, but they're not. I'm assuming they're not dumb, and that this is backed up by something else. If I call the bluff, we should just do it deliberately. I wasn't quite ready to do it there. I didn't think we need to. We can race 2. We got. Let's see if this Shimmer Scale does the work we want it to. Exactly. Let's call it with something else. But the trouble is calling with the tumbler is that they can call our bluff with just the single activation. We had to come up with something else where they would need to do the pump as well. It's true, we trade the Vizier for one of their cards, and maybe we should. I'm gonna get this Hoopu out, though. Now, if they can't kill that, then I'm not worried at all anyway. Now we've said kill the Hoopu or team going optimal wins. And I'm gonna just try to make blocks such that we don't die to some go wide alpha. Yeah, brute strength seems about right. G guards, that's one of the cards they could have had in that spot. Yep, they are doing the all-in now. And I am going to put the River Winder at risk in this situation. We're going to say do something to stop that from being a trade. We're going to preserve our River Hoopu. And we are going to throw maybe this on the other one even. Other 3 power, and then see what they want to do. Although, I guess, may as well just block the biggest power. Assuming they have tricks or whatever, let's just block the biggest thing. I mean, I assume we're losing our River Winder, so given that, let's lose it while fighting the largest thing we can block. Great. That's still a trade. Unquenchable Thirst is an excellent draw. I'm going to start, though. I guess we can, with the Thirst, that's just great. We throw that on the Thresher Lizard. Or we could throw it on the Burning Fist, but Burning Fist requires mana to get to 4 power. Thresher Lizard is just there. So you want to Thirst the first striker? I guess they could draw more cards and threaten a bigger situation. Yeah, four power is tough to block for us as well. Yeah, they can only activate once on their current mana, but they might, you know, over the long game, they might get there. I'm liking Thirst, leave Hoopu, but that kind of makes me think, why not just, let's just draw now. We keep playing lands given the Hoopu. And we could Hoodie B and try to be defensive that way. I'm going to put this on the Thresher Lizard and do the plan where we offer the Vizier and make them start using their cards on that if they want. We can also keep the Drake back. I'm not blocking with the Hoopu, so I'm going to attack with it. I'm into blocking with the Vizier, questioning blocking with the Drake. I'm going to just stay back on defense other than the Hoopu. I think it's a little too aggressive to send the Drake right now. And right now, the Burning Fist Minotaur is pretty contained by what's going on. And if we can, as we draw lands and draw more with Hoopu, we'll slowly take over here. Yeah, I'm going to absolutely double block the first striker here. They have to have a lot of stuff to just blow us out here. And even if they do, we have Hoopu, Brawler, Illumination backup. So I like the double block. The do your worst double block. Of course, this is because if they only have the one, yeah, they take out the Drake, but then Vizier finishes off the Minotaur and we can cross that threat off the list for now. Cycle Illumination, let's see what they do first, but we'll consider that. All right, that was totally worth it. And given that they haven't done anything else, Mike, I'm going to hold and we'll get 2 cards off the Illumination instead of the 1. Although we are drawing regularly with Hoopu as well. Although 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we can actually do both next turn, but I probably want to drop a Brawler. Yeah, with Brawler... Mike's not as greedy as I am, I guess. I'm gonna do this first. Get some more land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like Hoodie B Tender here. I mean, because we're drawing 2 per turn, I expect we'll have 4 extra mana soon enough. All right, need to find a lay claim now. Lay claim to that Sifter Worm. We'll still be okay. Yeah, we can offer this trade. Let's cycle 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9, 8, still leaving us with mana. We could also hieroglyphic illumination and end up with 6, and if we find a land and the claim, we get to 7. Let's try illumination and see if that produces some information for us at least. Mike wants to cycle the desert first. I guess if that gives us an answer, we have the answer, and if not, then the backup plans. Yeah, I like cycle desert first. Although, could have used, let's play that. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 now. And now we have Hoopu plus illumination. So let's go ahead and illuminate now. All right, there's our lay claim. So now we just need to not die to this trampler. And they have to top deck to kill us with the trampler. I'm still going to attack with a river Hoopu. Gosh, probably even just not going to attack with this, but I think we probably just take 7 next turn, or maybe absorb some of it with the vizier. Probably that makes sense. Oh yeah, we know they're top. Great, great, great. Okay, so given that, definitely attacking with the Hoopu. And really, I mean, we'll cycle that desert at the end of their turn. But this is looking good for us. Actually, I was going to cycle the desert, but we'll just draw some cards, obviously, with the Hoopu. Yeah, we will. We will. We don't need to do it now. We know exactly what's up. Their game is fully exposed on the table. Let's not mess around here. Might even get a scoop. I don't know where they're at on that type of thing. Red has haste. I'm going to leave Vizier back for hasty considerations, and we're going to do regular attacks, because as long as they don't have blockers, regular attacks are actually more damage with Hoodie. Maybe go ahead and cycle one of these now. Play a land, sure. Oh, that's true. I could have untapped Worm. It doesn't matter yet, though, but if it, because it was still summoning sick, but a good call. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, sorry, someone's talking about untapping the Sifter Worm, but untapping the Exerted Brawler is a great point. Thank you for that. We'll start doing that. But I think we just got it now, right? So we go Cartouche. Fight. All right, we did in fact pull to at least an even record of 3-3 after starting 0-2. Deja vu all over again from yesterday. But we're going to try and rise above 4. Yeah, maybe we can try and win one where we're not just on the edge of death the whole time. I'd be okay with that. This, if we were on the play, this might be that. I'm going to keep anyway, of course. Desert 1, Forest 2 on Eternal, into Hoodie, into Spring, into eventually finding a lay claim. Seems all very good. Yeah, I suppose this set isn't even on the edge of death. This set is just kind of deathy. Hope Tender could be our play instead of Eternal. Yeah, let's do Hope Tender. Although with a 1/3, I actually want the Spellweaver because we can like Beneath or Spring to actually make the Spellweaver be able to take out a Prowler. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Although we might not attack next turn, but if we go Spellweaver, Hoodie, then we go Beneath or Spring, and then the Eternal has better attacks than the Tender. Of course, Tender is ramp. I get that, but there's time for that as well. Oketras, they're going wide. That's annoying to see, honestly. And we don't have like a bluff attack here, and I am going to go Hoodie over anything else. Well, there's one of our deck MVPs. We want to hopefully save that until the black deck has expended a little more of its removal. We don't really have a 2 spell here, though, unless we River Hoopu. So we could just say, you know what, we're going to do it because we're going to use all our mana this turn, and that would be fair. We could send in the Brawler to knowingly trade with the Scorpion and just accept that fate. I mean, I don't know what we're doing about the Scorpion beyond eventually trading for it anyway. So I think I'm going to make that offer. And then double spell. We got so many brawlers, whatever. I mean, when were we going to trade Naga for Scorp? They were never attacking with it. It was like... Oh yeah, sorry, I got a extra accidental ping. I let auto tap pings us. But I'm not going to not play it. Interesting they went for killing a token instead of just weakening the Prowler. I would have weakened the Prowler. I mean, the whole point of this thing is to die anyway. I don't think it's good cheese, but it's playable. I mean, you don't have to be embarrassed to run it, but it's not a priority. And yeah, if you're throwing -1/-1 counters on your own creatures, it's pretty decent there. Yeah, let's if we exert here, we can also just start drawing cards before they find something for it. Although, yeah, if we go 3... You want to draw cards? I'm with you. I think in one turn we start drawing cards, Mike, but I'm going to go heavy ramp right here and then look to draw after. I'm ramping. I'm still cold ramping. Never blocking with this. They don't have reach. I'm sending it. No blocks. You mean the 3-4? All right. Maybe I should have been defensive. I accept that. Here, though, what do we take? Do we want to take any of this stuff? We could take the Naga. Yeah, Monument. Just take their Monument. Can we survive long enough to get value from the Monument in that case? I guess we're just going to lose to it if we don't. So it's more that this is not that this is great for us to use, but it's great for them not to use it. And I guess I'll stay back, but the thing is, if they attack... The reason I attacked with the Hoopu last time, because if they attack with the 1/1s, are we going to block? I mean, maybe we got to put them to the test and see if they're willing to, but let's find out. Let's see if they want to send in 1/1s into River Hoopu. They did with some thought. So I think, though, that means we probably have to block here. It could be stamina, but I think it's more just that they're willing to go wide and try to get us from 14 to 0 before we can take over with stuff. I think we have to call their bluff on that. And to an extent, I almost want to do it on the other one here, too. But Spellweaver, not very impressive going right here. It's too much damage. It's only one off. I still think we need to do it. And at least this is getting exerted here. I'm gonna cross our fingers. You wanted to trade off a 2/1 for the 1/1? I couldn't quite see myself doing that. And here's a good reason why. Like, now we can at least cartouche the Naga and have better blocks. Trouble. I kind of want to put this cartouche on the Spellweaver to make us a 3. Okay, actually, so we cast this. It becomes a 3/2. Becomes a 4/3 that fights a... Well, maybe we need to try and fight. I don't want to. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 if we exert the tender. So we can do both. But I think I like cartouching here. I'm just trying to figure out how we're approaching this cartouche. I'm going to throw it on the Eternal and fight like the Naga. I guess fight the Naga or the... Yeah, I guess the Naga. We could also trade straight up for the Kudu, but that doesn't seem right. I think we just have to take the Naga out, even though the Naga is not attacking us next turn. And I think we still need the Hoopu to block with, and we'll draw off the Hoopu instead of the Mind. Interesting they don't want to just play that. I mean, this card would be difficult for us. I'm a little surprised they didn't just want to cast that. Thanks for the reminder that Mind is an instant. Still would rather have 2 life and 1 card over 2 cards, but we'll see here. Yeah, that's a good point. Mind does turn into a combat trick for Eternal. So if that is relevant, if making a 4/3 here is relevant, we might do that. And maybe it is worth it to try and trade the Eternal off for the Kudu. Lethal Sting puts us to the test now. If they swing away, we can still take a hit here. So I am going to activate Hoopu. We offer the trade there and the eat there. This is a big game on the comeback trail. We got to keep that one in mind. Oh, sure. Oh, that's going to be, let's see, older memes. It's in here. Yeah, I guess we save the Mind to surprise the Kudu. Does that make sense? I don't want to draw 2 now because I want to draw 2 now to cast stuff, but I think we're actually, well, actually, it doesn't matter if they go. Well, they're. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I know it's. I guess it's on board, but I still like having the ability to trade with the Kudu here. If we mind it on our turn, we don't have the ability to trade with their threat. So it's not a surprise, but then great, don't attack us. You know? Yeah, wrong to call it a surprise, but I think correct to make this play. Incorrect to keep failing to tap my Oasis for mana instead of it leaving it to damage me. Kudu rhymes with voodoo. Oh, we're gonna cycle, but I can wait till end turn here. Hoodoo kudu like you do. Let's cycle this now. All right, we get some creatures here to help us shore up this board a little bit. Nice. And we have something that can start attacking. I'm not going to use the Oasis here. So I'll actually just remember to do it this way this time. Now the late claim tokens are coming through for us. Yeah, it's true. I can't attack past the spider, but maybe we'll get another one of our cartouches here. Yeah, Oasis gets the flyer through for every desert we're willing to sacrifice to it. We can start there next turn at least, but long term we're going to need something else. In any deck, I do think you need to be planning to go wide and doing something with the tokens. I mean, this is working out for us, but it's not like plan A. And I don't think it would be necessarily very good in our deck, for example. Now we get to lay claim the spider. And we can even lay claim and still cash in the oasis, right? So a lot we can do here. Save the lay claim for this. It will be a 4/4, but I think we have plenty to deal with a 4/4 on the ground. Clearing the way for our flyer is more important. Feels more important to me. That's interesting. Yeah, we could Oasis the companion, untap the brawler. Let's try that play. Sure. I like it. No good blocks for Oppo, and we got lots of chumps for the back end. This doesn't give trample, does it? Just like, as long as they don't have trample, I like just chumping our way to defense against this. Also, hopefully we untap the brawler here anyway. Still have the Oasis. We sacked a different desert, so we get a +3/+3 ability next turn as well. And yeah, if they can find trample here, we're in deep trouble. If they can't find trample, I think we're good. All right, Oppo agrees that no trample means no win. I guess this is how we roll now. We start 0-2 and then see how far we can get in the loser's bracket. That's just what we do. Diamond, I guess. Sure, I'll take diamond. Let's see, I could do a diamond week. We got Paul Simon, diamonds on the soles of her shoes, and Prince, diamonds and pearls. Shine On You Crazy Diamond from Pink Floyd. Diamonds are a girl's best friend if you want to go old school. Sure, Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. All right, we get to go first, and it's a reasonable hand I'm keeping. We only have 2 land, but any land really sets up the hand fine, and we can even navigate on 2 for a little bit. Cycle the lay claim if we absolutely have to. Diamond Dogs, good one. There we go, we got our week. And a Neil Diamond record, sure. Did Neil Diamond ever sing about diamonds? Double D. No 3rd land yet. Gonna go ahead and Eternal though. Come on, Magic Gods. How about 1 basic off the top? Your choice. Just make it a basic off the top. All right, you gave me something in between here with the desert. I'm gonna play it, and no sense attacking or anything. We're just gonna play this and go for an essence scatter. If we don't scatter anything, we'll consider cycling the lay claim. But now that we can spring and cartouche and brawl and stuff, I'm not inclined to give up our lay claim. I want him to do something like play a brawler, something that is an easy snap counter. I suppose if they let us end our turn, I should cycle the lay claim, though. It's probably the grown-up play here with the current situation. That's true. We can cartouche onto the Eternal, make a 4/3 that fights the Minotaur. Ugh. They didn't tap out. I'm not going to fall for that. I am going to be a grown-up. Ugh, this hurts, but I'm doing it. So now we could play the desert and play spring, or just play the desert and play hoodie and then spring. Yeah, I like that. We're still going to play the desert. I don't like cartouche into the open mana fiddles on like 5 axes. Like, you want to cartouche into a magma spray format? No, thank you. I mean, they had Cheetah. That's fine too. They trade. I'm cool with that. But Hoodie B in the house. A braid trade. There you go. That's why, though, not to cartouche into that mana, right? Three, 2, eventually 4, 4. And us again with no land draw. Could spring. We can only really one spell here unless we cycle Vizier. I think I like Cartouche, kill Burning Fist here. Although we still are vulnerable to Magma Spray with the 1 red. So maybe I should take a more conservative line here and just play the Vizier and set up for next turn and hold the Eternal back to threaten the Lizard. I like that. We're going to do that. But that's our plan. Boo earns. All right, some more land doesn't stink. We have 6 mana total here. We can go with Shimmer Scale as just a nice defender in this spot. 3/4 threatens to trade straight up with Lizard, although land, play something, and this Lizard becomes a 5/5. Let's keep that in mind. Still, maybe we go, like, what does Cartouche do? We get a 2/4 that could fight the Minotaur and then be pretty good against a 3/3. Kill the Minotaur in spring or leave Scatter. That's the thing. I think probably needing Scatter left up here is where I'm at. But cartouching, while we have a window to get a clean kill on the Minotaur, is good. And yeah, this is all right. If they have a trick, we can't counter it with Essence Scatter, and we're trading Vizier for a trick. But at this point, I think that's correct. I guess the question is, like, if we lose this, are we off of something super important? And I don't think we are off of something super important. No, I bet they have something. That's why I'm trying to decide if we're trading for their trick. And I'm going to say, yeah, we have Shimmer Scale follow. And if it's not a trick and we live, excellent. Okay, good, good. Kind of like play Shimmer Scale for sure. And then question is hold for cycling or not. Desert, that is. If we play the desert, we get like scatter spring. I think we hold this for cycling here. Now a 5/5, I'm willing to throw a double block as well. They didn't have a trick for the Entangler last turn, suggesting they don't have a trick this turn unless they happened to top deck one. And I'm not going to play around a possible top deck. I'm going to read their previous behavior and figure they are highly unlikely to have a trick and that a double block would be successful if they sent. That's my read. It's not guaranteed, but that is why I'm making the block. I mean, they must have just drawn it. And the good news is we still get the Shimmer... Oh, no. Yeah, Shimmer Scale still works, right? Because they have 2 cards in hand. Unless they come up with another one. All right, 2 for 2-ish. You know, there's some auras around or whatever, but I think largely that was fine for us. This isn't great, though, having an empty board to the Entangler. Let's see if we can disempty it. And we did. We have to give up access to Essence Scatter for a turn to do so. You could make a case that we shouldn't. You know, that we can just hold up Scatter. See if they want to exert or not, and then trial next turn. Actually, for 2 damage, I think I like hold up Scatter and prevent against something crazy. If that's if you feel that way, I guess we could go trial. All right, that's fair. Let's go trial. We'll go shields down. I just don't want him to top deck an amazing creature and then we're like, oh. And because for 2 damage, we can play trial next turn with the scatter still up to prevent the amazing creature situation. Can we just race? If they're not, I think for a turn, we could take the 2 here. Although Spring puts us close to Aftermath drawing 2 cards, maybe we just offer this trade too. 12, like if we were lower life, it would be no-brainer to trade, but we are actually at race conditions. Yeah, I'm going to say for 1 turn, we can say, what else you got, Oppo? Anything? Damn it! Ah! I believed you, Mike. I blame Mike. Or whoever else was telling me to not take 2 there. Well, so now we want to steal this Locust God. That's our big plan. Unfortunately, we cycled 1 lay claim. And now we got to go trying to draw the other. We have like 1 turn to find it. Maybe, yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could make a case that we need to also play to a cartouche out, and that at least if we keep this alive, a cartouche could take care of the Locust God for a turn. So that's what I'm thinking about. I think we just have one turn for it. 3, 7, 8, and the one flyer wouldn't kill us. So yeah, I'm going to take. Oppo being a show off. All right, well, same thing. 0-2 to 4-3. I guess that's what we do. Yeah, kind of a jerky move, but congrats, Oppo. I hope you feel great about yourself for being rude to somebody else. Yeah. Be rude to your opponents, everybody. Because we need to spread more misery in the world. 2020 isn't doing a good enough job. Well, I haven't been able to play the profit meme because we can't quite get there. We keep getting to 1400. But as always, 4-3. I'm never going to be too disappointed with that. That deck was sweet. Felt pretty good. The Hoodie Bees felt a little out of place. Like, I wonder how much. Does that deck perform better if you take all those 3-mana 3/2s and make them 3-mana 2/4s instead? Like, I bet we're better off if those were just green vanilla 2/4s for 3. Script says, sometimes I think it's not intended as rudeness, but just showing what I had, i.e., still had all these. Guess what, Squirp? That's rude. I think Hoodie B is a good card. It's just it needs the right deck, and it's still fine in any green deck. You're gonna play your hoodies, but if you're aggressive, Hoodie B is incredible. But as you see, I think green's real strength in the format is fixing and enabling a long game strategy. So I think you play the hoodies, but as you see, they played a lot like 3/2s in our deck, and we would have been much happier for to have 2/4s, I think. So anyway, I would like to thank you all for hanging out for that one. Maybe we'll get something besides 0-2 to 4-3 before this week is out, but I'll take it. Not bad, not bad. Bye, YouTube.